you're looking at 10 years, minimum. I look at you, and I don't see a guy with the balls to do that kind of time.
I won't do 10 days.
Over the course of several months, developer United Front Games has done a pretty good job of supporting the post-launch period for their Hong Kong sandbox game, Sleeping Dogs. We've seen a number of downloadable content packs ranging from smaller content such as cosmetic upgrades and new weapons for Wei Shen, as well as larger adventures like the Zodiac Tournament and Nightmare in North Point. But, as the old saying goes, all good things must come to an end, and United Front Games are keen to take out Sleeping Dogs with a bang, with their final mission pack titled The Year of the Snake. Unlike the satire over substance, Nightmare and Zodiac, Year of the Snake takes a more serious approach to storytelling, as a series of missions chronicle Wei Shen's attempts to thwart a violent doomsday group known as the Cult of the Snake. It's also the first DLC to take place canonically after the Sleeping Dogs narrative, covering Wei Shen's return to the police force and new assignment. That alone is probably enough to spark interest from a lot of Sleeping Dogs fans, but I wouldn't get too excited just yet. Though the narrative does make a lot of sense as a post-Sleeping Dogs mission, it doesn't really explore Wei Shen's character any more in depth than a standard side story, nor does it set up the series for any potential sequels. That's not to say the narrative is bad, the hook is decent and paced well enough for most part, but it is definitely secondary to much of what we've experienced from Sleeping Dogs thus far.
Holy shit. Stop, police!
The real value of Year of the Snake is in its structure and pacing. Where Nightmare and Zodiac were pretty heavily focused on one or two gimmicks, Year of the Snake is instead more like a best of Sleeping Dogs. This ensures that throughout the course of the story, you'll be engaging in numerous street brawls, free running across rooftops, burning rubber along the highway, and chaining together headshots in exciting shootouts. Almost, if not every single gameplay mechanic present in Sleeping Dogs is used here at least once, if brief, either in one of the main missions or optional side tasks. This gives Year of the Snake a great impression of gameplay and structural diversity, as whatever mechanic is at the forefront of any one mission is unlikely to outstay its welcome. I was really happy to see Year of the Snake focus pretty much exclusively on police-themed missions, a change of pace from the gritty undercover crime stuff that dominated the main game. Combining the theme with gameplay mechanics, you can expect to do everything from using your police siren to pull over target vehicles, to gearing up in SWAT armor and breaking through riots with the newly added tear gas launcher. Even Wei Shen's new standard outfit, which you'll use for the majority of the missions, has several police-themed upgrades. For starters, Wei is now able to pull off official arrests, a finishing move which subdues and cuffs any opponent on low enough health. It's a nifty looking move that's fun to pull off in the middle of massive brawls, but also largely superficial, as it's not really integrated into any special gameplay scenarios. On the other hand, the new taser grapple attack, which shocks opponents for either as long as you can keep it up, or as long as they can take it, is a simple yet stupidly satisfying way to cripple the opposition, even if it is one of many suspect behaviours of the so-called Inspector Wei Shen.
That's it for you!
If any criticism can be directed towards Year of the Snake, it's how it fumbles with a few of its own ideas. For example, one small series of missions pressure the player to drive cars rigged with timed explosives into the nearest bay, disposing of the threat. The thrill of racing against a deadly clock, followed by a last-minute bailout from the driver's seat, is exciting by itself, but where these missions take place can be a source of frustration. Most of these take place in a part of the island known as Central, which is probably the only portion of the map where 90% of the shoreline is surrounded by impenetrable barriers. This enforces a trial and error or pre-planning approach to the car bomb disposal, just to ensure you take the right path, which is a bit of a downer to the otherwise exciting moment-to-moment gameplay. Year of the Snake is also guilty of a bit of padding in optional score-based objectives, just like much of the DLC, but the worst offender is the evidence bags. Collectibles scattered around the map waiting to be discovered, each offers no real reward upon collection, unlike the main game's lockboxes and Nightmare shrines, each of which improved money and health. In fact, the pointlessness of the evidence bags is worsened upon completing the main series of missions, as the map then highlights all of their locations, rendering the little thrill is to be had in simply trying to find them completely obsolete. In the grand scheme of things, these grievances are largely insignificant, because Year of the Snake has plenty of other fun stuff going on to keep you busy. Of all the DLC, it's absolutely the most fleshed out and content packed, with more main missions and side quests than any other. And as a complete package, it actually feels like a proper run of missions. not a half-assed extra or diversion over in 30 minutes. Though yes, it does draw upon the Sleeping Dogs formula for its mechanics, and doesn't bring all that much new to the table, it's how these mechanics are used and paced throughout the missions that prevents Year of the Snake from devolving into repetitious fistfights and lengthy slogs from A to B. I could easily say Year of the Snake is more of the same, but I'd mean it in the best way possible. It's the best qualities of Sleeping Dogs condensed into a new package. For that reason, and given that this is the last Sleeping Dogs DLC, if you're eager to take one of 2012's best titles out for another spin, I can't think of a better excuse than Year of the Snake. Of all the DLC on offer, it's easily the one with the strongest vision, value for content, and most rewarding gameplay. It's a solid reminder of what makes Sleeping Dogs so much fun, and why it would be criminal to miss out on a sequel. From me, Year of the Snake gets an 8 out of 10.